Hello all and welcome to All Red. Well, let's look at two of the younger players in the Premier League right now and do a comparison that might be a bit shocking for some of you. And look, I've been very kind to, well, I've been kind to Arsenal the past couple weeks, stating how I think that Arsenal might have the edge over City this coming season and how head-to-head with Liverpool in playing actual games against Liverpool, I respect Arsenal a little bit more than I do City, just because of last season's results. We lost to Arsenal, we didn't lose to City. With that being said, this is the channel that is all Liverpool all the time. It's all red. Please hit that like button and consider subscribing as we continue to build the best LFC channel in the world. Bukayo Saka versus Harvey Elliott. Okay, it's a comparison that is not apples to apples, but I saw this on Twitter the other day, and I'm like, I gotta make a video about this because Sabaz Lord at Sabaz Lord, you can see it down there, put together this comparison, or he found it, I'm not sure, that I thought was fascinating. Now look at the dates here. This is basically when Saka was 20 versus when Harvey Elliott was 20, and you can see the difference between the two players when they were 20 years old. So obviously Saka is 21-22 Premier League, and this is Harvey Elliott last year. And so it's a little bit crazy if you compare the two, because there's a lot of green on the left and not a lot of green on the right. In fact, there's a lot of red on the right side. And what does this say about both of these players? Well, I'm not saying that Bukayo Saka is a bad player. Of course not. Of course not. He's a good player. But I think we need to start putting some respect on Harvey Elliott's name, okay? And we're going to actually look at even further here. If I get rid of this, I'm going to get rid of that graphic because you've looked at it for far too long. Now, if we look at, what I want to do here is I want to look at Bukayo Saka at 21 versus Harvey Elliott at 21. So what we're looking at here on the right is Bukayo Saka from 22-23 versus Harvey Elliott last season. And we're doing that because let's step a year ahead. We could do the same thing with Saka in 23-24, but we're looking at age here because when you look at a Harvey Elliott type player, Harvey Elliott is so young, but he's been playing in the Premier League for so long that you can't just say apples to apples, but let's do an age comparison between the two. They're not that far off. I think Saka's only about a year and a half older than Harvey Elliott, but we got to look at these stats because the stats are really interesting. And this gets me really excited because I think Liverpool have an absolute diamond on their hand with young Harvey Elliott. And we're going to get into some of the tactics and how we're seeing Arne Slot already use him. I know it's preseason, but already use him, and we're seeing the fruits of that. So let's look at some standard stats. Now, both of these players on paper look like, wow, these are two really good players. Look at those percentiles. We got a lot in the 90s, a lot in the 80s, and you can see right off the bat that these are comparisons not to each other, but to other players in their positions. So Saka versus mids and wingers, and Harvey Elliott versus midfielders. So look at right off the bat. Goals, obviously double the amount of goals here for Saka. Okay, that's fine. He's a winger. He's an attacker. Harvey Elliott's more of a central midfielder. I know he's played on the right wing, but that's not his preferred position. And then you see the assists, obviously there, Harvey Elliott. You would expect that. Saka's scoring more goals. Harvey Elliott is providing more assists. And by the way, these are these are calendar year 365 days. No, sorry. This is not 365. These are simply confined to the Premier League seasons. That's what we're looking at here. I find the non-penalty goals interesting. Saka, lower percentile there. And even in this graphic here, that number was very different. Non-penalty goals. No, sorry. I'm thinking of something completely different. I'm an idiot. That's similar. It was the chances created and pass accuracy I was thinking of. Sorry. Let's get rid of that. Goodbye. Looking at some other stats here. The expected goals, expected assists, higher percentile there. And, Harvey Elliott, just like Saka, he's being compared to some of the, well, any midfielder in the Premier League. So, these numbers, I would give the edge to Saka here. I'm going to come out and say that. I'm not saying like, oh, Harvey Elliott's clear of Saka. But what I am saying is like these two players, Saka gets all the accolades, right? He's starting right winger for England in the Euros. Harvey Elliott didn't make the team. He's not good enough. But dude, both of these players are really good. And what I'm saying is like Saka is probably considered like one of the best players in the Premier League. I think we need to start putting some respect on Harvey Elliott's name. That's what I'm saying. Okay. All right. Let's move down. Shooting. Okay. This is really interesting. We've looked at the goals. Shots. Look at these shots. Look at these explosive shots from Harvey Elliott. He's shooting the ball. He's getting into attacking spaces and getting shots off. Look at the shots on target, dude. 107, dude, per 90. More than Saka. Dude, that's kind of crazy for an attacking mid versus a winger, a goal-scoring winger. And then you can see, Saka is scoring from penalty kicks. I don't think Harvey Elliott has taken a penalty kick in a Premier League game, maybe ever in his career. So that factors into the goals. And Harvey Elliott's not the penalty kick taker. So take that into consideration. Expected goals, very interesting, similar percentiles. And then let's look at passing. And we're not going to look at all these stats. It's just not, there's no reason to. Dude, Harvey Elliott is a good passer, dude. Look at this. Assists, 98th percentile. Expected assists, 97th percentile. Key passes, 95th percentile. Passes into penalty area, 98th percentile. Crosses into penalty area, 98th percentile. Progressive passes, 93rd percentile. Dude, we're sitting on a diamond here, man. We're sitting on a diamond. Like, Harvey Elliott is a beast. He is a fantastic midfielder. Let's go to goals and shot creations. Yes, I'm cherry picking my favorite stats. This is a Liverpool channel. Get out of here. Goal creating actions, 93rd percentile. Shot creating actions, 97th percentile. I mean, dude, this is insane. You know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to scroll all the way up here, and I'm going to go like this. We're just going to do it, man. Kevin De Bruyne. Okay. Bear with me because we're going to the complete scouting report. No, I am not saying that Harvey Elliott is Kevin De Bruyne. But we're going to look. Okay, look at this. Woo! Yeah. Okay. All right. I think I proved against what I was trying to prove. This is probably a better comparison. But hear me out here. We're seeing a lot of 99th percentiles for Kevin De Bruyne, and rightly so. This was from 2 years ago. Okay, at least I think. Let's just double check that. Okay, this was actually the last. I'm gonna go back. To last Premier League season. Okay, now this is gonna be per 90, and we're gonna look at Kevin De Bruyne's statistics, goals and shot creation. Let's just look at this real quick. All right. Yes, Kevin De Bruyne is a better player than Harvey Elliott. Okay. Don't slate me in the comments. Harvey Elliott's a better defender. But we're seeing a lot of 99th percentiles here, and rightly so for Kevin De Bruyne, one of the best midfielders in the world, and maybe one of the best players in the world. He's getting a little older, but hear me out here. This is what I'm talking about. Harvey Elliott is not that far off. Look at these bars. Man. For a guy that is, he's not taking free kicks. He does take corner kicks occasionally, not much. But Harvey Elliott, dude, let's go back up to just the standard stats for both of these guys. Harvey Elliott, I mean, look at that. We could do an overlay, and they're not like gaps and miles apart. And Harvey Elliott is only 21 years old, bro. So I guess what I'm trying to say is Liverpool have a diamond on their hands in Harvey Elliott. And I'm not even going to call him a diamond in the rough anymore, because I think a lot of people are waking up to his quality. I think a lot of Liverpool fans, including myself last season, started to wake up to like, hey, this Harvey Elliott kid, I think he's the real deal. Because, you know, we're used to seeing him playing as a 17, 18, 19-year-old, and now he's 21. And last season, part of the way season, he was 20. And we're starting to see this kid who we've seen now for the last 5 years in the Liverpool squad. And we're starting to see like this kid is really good. And he's only 21. And I am so excited to see what he does, because real quick, let's just talk about some slot tactics and how Harvey Elliott fits into those. So Slot likes to build from the back slowly, right? Possess and then kill the opposition with the ball is what he says. So we saw this against Arsenal. Harvey Elliott is the guy that finds the pockets of space. As the defense shifts around, Harvey Elliott finds these little pockets of space. Our defenders and midfielders, deeper lying midfielders, when they find Harvey, we looked at his stats. We looked at his passing stats. Look at this. Look at these passing stats. He's better in some of these passing areas than Kevin De Bruyne. And it's actually very, very similar. But he is a very good passer of the ball. He's very good in tight spaces because he's tiny, but he's very good in these tight spaces. And then you see the results of this against Arsenal. Again, I know it's preseason, but 2 really good assists from Harvey Elliott. I think we are going to see an amazing midfielder for Liverpool this season, the 21-year-old Harvey Elliott. Let me know what you think in the comments. I can't imagine that you disagree with me if you're a Liverpool fan. The quality is clear, and it's getting clearer. But let me know what you think of Harvey Elliott. Does he have a starting role in this midfield this season? Does he have a starting role ever at Liverpool under Arne Slot? And what are we going to see from Harvey Elliott this season?